There are some diabetes myths that are all too frequently reported as truths. These erroneous portrayals of diabetes can occasionally be damaging, contributing to an unjust stigma surrounding the disease. Although there is a wealth of diabetes information available, both from healthcare experts and the internet, not all of it is accurate. It might be difficult to determine what is accurate, which is why this article will showcase the top 10 most prevalent diabetes myths. Along with diabetes myths, you may find these diabetes facts interesting. Myth 1: people with diabetes are unable to consume sugar. This is one of the most prevalent diabetes myths, that individuals with the disease must follow a sugar-free diet. Diabetes patients must consume a balanced diet that includes sugar in moderation. Individuals with diabetes may consume sugar. Myth 2: type 2 diabetes is a non-aggravating condition. This diabetes myth is frequently repeated, however, it is untrue. There is no such thing as a moderate form of diabetes. If type 2 diabetes is not managed properly, it can result in serious, and perhaps fatal, complications. While effective diabetes management can dramatically reduce the likelihood of complications, this does not negate the seriousness of the disease. Myth 3: type 2 diabetes affects exclusively obese people. While the media frequently associates type 2 diabetes with being overweight or obese, this is simply inaccurate. Around 20% of persons with type 2 diabetes are overweight or obese. Myth 4: diabetics should consume exclusively diabetic food. Diabetic food is one of the most pervasive urban legends of the last decade. The term diabetic is frequently applied to sweets. Frequently, sugar alcohols or other sweeteners are substituted for sugar. Diabetic food frequently has an adverse influence on blood glucose levels, is costly, and may also have significant side effects. Diabetes Charity and Diabetes UK advise persons with diabetes to avoid diabetic foods. Myth 5: diabetes goes blind and lose their legs. Diabetes is the major cause of blindness and accounts for a significant number of amputations each year. However, individuals with diabetes who manage their blood pressure, glucose, weight, and smoking cessation all improve their odds of remaining complication-free. Blindness and amputation are thus preventable, and the vast majority of patients with diabetes will avoid them, particularly if they receive annual diabetic health exams. Myth 6: diabetes people are reckless drivers. This myth is founded on an erroneous generalization. For those with diabetes, the primary danger of driving is hypoglycemia. However, hypoglycemia is a preventable condition, and the vast majority of persons with diabetes who are at risk of hypoglycemia take precautions to avoid hypos while driving. According to statistics, diabetics are just as safe on the road as anyone else, with large accidents being linked to hypoglycemia, which affects less than 0.2% of drivers treated with insulin. However, the stereotype that diabetes are reckless drivers persists. Myth 7: people with diabetes are not allowed to participate in sports. Diabetes myths have been debunked by prominent diabetic athletes and women. Individuals with diabetes should engage in physical activity to maintain a healthy lifestyle. While there are some considerations to make prior to participating in sport, there is no reason why people with diabetes cannot participate in the majority of cases. Myth 8: people with diabetes are unable to perform a wide variety of jobs. Diabetes does not preclude you from working, and with advancements in diabetes management, the number of employment that persons with diabetes are ineligible for has decreased significantly. While some occupations, such as frontline service, may be inaccessible to people with diabetes, many others will be. It's worth emphasizing that individuals with diabetes who are unable to work due to individual vision or mobility issues may be eligible for specific benefits. Myth 9: diabetes people are more likely to become unwell. Diabetes does not make people more susceptible to colds or other infections. Sickness has a significant impact on persons with diabetes because it can make blood glucose management more difficult, which can exacerbate the severity of an illness or infection. Preventing disease is critical, which is why flu vaccinations are recommended and are completely free. Myth 10: diabetes is contagious. Diabetes cannot be contracted from another person, a common playground fallacy. Diabetes is classified as a non-communicable disease, which means it cannot be spread via sneezing, touch, blood, or any other person-to-person contact. The only way diabetes can be passed on genetically is through parents to their own offspring, and even then it is simply a hereditary likelihood of developing diabetes, not the disease itself.